The Nude Woman. Shigure Hasegawa. I placed a picture of a nude woman by Chagall in the alcove. Of course, such a fine painting was not mine to own. It was lent to me, along with the frontispiece for Modern Beauties, by a certain gentleman who had borrowed it himself. I carefully set it in the alcove. That night, after those who had brought it left, my husband returned home late. The moment he stepped into the room, his eyes flew to the painting in the alcove, and he cried out, "Whose work is this?" "Ah, Chagall, I thought at once it was no ordinary piece." Saying this, he crouched down before the frame not particularly large and gazed intently. "Such helpless things they are, works of art," he murmured. Every day thereafter, during the time we had it in our keeping, simply gazing upon it seemed to elevate our artistic conscience, filling us with a sense of richness. From winter into spring, we had many visitors. Yet, to my surprise, not one of them uttered a single word about it, or rather, not one looked at it with any attention. Among those guests were young painters, both men and women. They are simply too pressed for time, I tried to think charitably. Their eyes would wander over the photographs scattered around the desk, but not extend to the alcove. The nearby New Year's offering of rice cakes was large indeed. "A foot across, isn't it?" 2 or 3 of my fellow women writers remarked, but their eyes did not travel as far as Chagall. Drawn, rather, to what was concrete and immediate, so I tried to interpret it. Perhaps they were captured by reality itself. Yet Chagall's nude was anything but lifeless. She leapt before one's eyes. Though uncolored, she was alive, vigorous, her form as smooth and resilient as a young tree in June, filled to the very brim with vitality. Suddenly, it came to me, this is it. Women avert their eyes from that fragrant, untroubled body. Not out of malice, nor because it is unfamiliar. They know it too well, know it even before they can appreciate it as art, consciously or not. Before they come to see the painting, they have already had enough of it. To say they do may be too blunt. To say they likely do may be softer. Yet, in either case, there seems to be a certain poverty of leisure there, an unwillingness to look again, a distaste for direct vision such a flaw is revealed, plain and unhidden. Otherwise, it must be said, their sense for beauty is alarmingly dull. And yet, I learned from this something rather unsettling. If it were simply people so harried that their lives were consumed in restless haste, then it would be nothing worth remarking. But at least those of whom I speak here are not without interest in such matters. That was what made me pause in puzzlement. Of course, there must have been a few who, saying nothing, looked upon it with the eyes of the heart. Others may have thought it disagreeable to comment aloud. Yet, curiously, some among them proved far too sensitive to the most trivial of human affairs, altogether distant from such beauty. Here, I make an exception for the younger men, for I know well that they are careful in my presence, and therefore hold themselves back even in matters of art. It is not, surely, that they could remain unmoved, whether or not the painting were a Chagall. Nagoya Shimbun, the 12th of January 1936.